hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning
Morning.
I wake up to the sound
I'm
of the
just getting
trading
ready.
bell. My heart starts to pound.
New graphics.
Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me
Wow.
through my hopes and fears.
Joel Damon. We got our weekly MicroStrategy update.
Want to see how this looks?
Okay, the thumbnail looks good. Live now. Hit thumbs up. Let's see. Let's pin that. We'll do a thumb. Thumb. Boom. Boom. And then we'll go Linktree.
Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together
Morning,
we'll
Sean.
conquer, no room for any less.
New graphics.
Now. Every morning I wake up to the
New graphics. Wait till I come on screen. I got new graphics there too. It's a little ADD. Oh, let's see. There's a lot of red on the screen. A lot of red. Yeah. I got my water.
Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking
Okay.
risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading
Morning, Josh.
podcast in my ears,
I'm letting this play out.
guiding me
Okay.
through my
See? New graphics down below. Believe it or not, there was a lot more movement in the graphics that I pulled up, and you'll see. Morning, Beast. Every 53 seconds, and don't ask me why I picked 53 seconds. The bottom green part is going to that bottom green part is going to show up. So it's down here. The green part. I think it pulls up every 53 seconds or something. I don't know. Honest to God, I tried my best. There we go. See the bottom part? The goal is to have an API that looks at the live stock price of the core portfolio stocks and to have that scroll down there with some of the news articles that I'm going to do. That's the goal. I'm telling you the goal. Okay. But let's see. I was just watching some of this stuff. Global money supply is exploding. I mean, that's true. Bitcoin is the only thing that's up. So, okay. We're gonna go in. I gotta move Earnings Hub over a little bit, but we're gonna. This is a great Paul Tudor Jones, a fantastic legendary investor. Who there's a couple of points that I want to make on there. There's also finding support and resistance on Trendspider. If you haven't used heat maps, and I don't, but this is an interesting option for those that can't necessarily find support resistance, because you can clearly see on this, see how it blacks out right there? Well, that's right where your trend line should be. See how it blacks out right about there? That's where your trend line should be. So heat maps are an important thing. And just one of the tools that you have. Trend line, Tori goes over 1 hour trend line. This is a great, I mean, you know, again, we talk about trend lines there. That's part of the education. We're going to go over all of the earnings. And I'm just going to use Earnings Hub. I'm going to use the tools that I have, Earnings Hub and things of that sort, because it's a huge earnings week. I mean, and Seeking Alpha kind of goes over it by day with one or two picks that they like. It should be interesting. I mean, you know, again, you're in an iffy market. So Broadcom, Marvell among the top picks from JP Morgan. We're going to go over value versus growth. And it came out of this article that I read from Steve Kress, and it was from the 16th. So it's from like 5 days ago. But there's one stock in there that I thought was kind of interesting. And it's an alpha pick. And they just paid out a huge one. And value versus growth. I mean, that's essentially what it is. What's outperforming? Gold and Bitcoin are rising. Bitcoin has lagged. So, you know, again, this is from last night, but it's continuing this morning. Bitcoin's up, what, 3% or something? This was a great short from Humphrey Yang, selling his Costco gold bar. And how you go through that process. I thought it was pretty good. Costco or NVIDIA? Which one are you buying? 23 times forward earnings for NVIDIA, 53 times forward earnings for Costco. Remember, if you got long-term capital gains and you want to get to that 15% preferred tax rate, which one are you buying and holding for a year? And is QQQ a trap, or is it a once-in-a-decade buy? I mean, that's essentially what it is. We've got conflicting data because the 10-year is back above 4.4, moving 8 basis points as the dollar weakens, defying, again, historical correlations. I mean, Mohamed El-Erian is a great economist. I like what he says all the time. And don't be surprised. I mean, this is if Powell is actually fired, it creates a crisis. And so don't be surprised. This is also big news. Harvard and Yale and every educational institution, they're selling big this morning. And they're selling huge amounts. It's not to be, again, that will move the markets. And I think that's contributing to it. Now, first inside week of 2025, inside candles are usually a trend reversal. Maybe. Does the old adage sell in May and go away? I brought that up when I tax loss harvested. I thought this was interesting because we're going to go over Hood because I actually thought this particular podcast, the man that turned 20K into 60 million, it was one of their best, if not their best. I thought this was really, really good. Yeah. It was it was a fantastic episode. And we're going to go over the death of the Pope. I got some material written. It'll be good. So with that, I'm going to put you on some relaxing sounds and music while I go and just get something. I just got to go grab something. Okay, let me put you on a countdown.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success.
Why is this doing that? What the hell?
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me
I
through
hope
my
that
hopes
the
and
camera doesn't
fears.
freak out.
Tune in
Okay, and scene. I hope the camera doesn't freak out. The camera's doing some funny stuff. It follows me when I leave the room. It's creepy as fuck. Okay. We're gonna go over here. I'm gonna start recording. Okay, here we go. Good morning. It is Monday, April 21st. I gotta. Man, I'm annoying myself. Because I need to clear my throat, but I don't want to clear my throat. Okay. I don't know when the damn thing starts back again. I should count the seconds or something. I don't know. Good morning. It is Monday, April 21st. It is the day after Easter. It is the day after 420 day. So if you're a smoker, edible, whatever, and a Christian. Let's just say yesterday was your happiest day alive. I think. I don't know. I mean, 420 to me, 420 day, celebrate it every now and then. Could be interesting. But I got a big show. We're going to go over a great podcast episode that I listened to with Chris Camillo, which was amazing. Why he turned me bullish on Robinhood. We're going to go over the markets. First inside candle. We're going to go over a stock that is up 14% year to date. And it's going to shock you. Put it in the back of your mind. Right now, I want you to think about what that stock is. I'm not going to tell you until this segment. Is Jerome Powell getting fired? That would be a nightmare scenario. We'll go over that. Is it a once in a decade opportunity for QQQ, or is this just a trap? Costco or Nvidia, which one would you rather buy? We'll go over that. Earnings, and I've got a bunch of education about trend lines, heat maps, and Paul Tudor Jones. So it's a big show. It's a big show. There is a lot of red on the screen right now. Essentially, I got some new graphics, and I'm not talking about the graphics, but I'm talking about the actual market. But the graphics down below are brand new. Give me your thoughts. Do you like the movement? Do you not like the movement? Is this something that I should continue? Should I go back to the other boring one? Should I focus just on the charts? Let me know your thoughts. Now, I do want to bring up something. The Liberation Day strategy that I have for QQQ, which performs, by the way, over the last 9 years, makes you 302% versus buying and holding makes you 322%. Now, how would I actually play this one? Well, in my mind, there's a couple of things. The strategy has saved you 20% during these historic pullbacks, okay? The first, it saved you 25% in COVID. This was written just a couple of weeks ago, so I didn't have it during COVID. This strategy saved you 32% during the 2022 historic meltdown, during the rate increases. Okay, it saved you. I back tested it against the dot bomb of 2000. It also saved you during the 2008, 2009 financial crisis. And finally, it has saved you over 25% if we just look at Liberation Day. Because right there, you can see from top to bottom, it's 24.62% over 1 month and 1 week if you wanted to get out. Again, I would urge you that during this time, you should have been trimming QQQ. The real question is, when do you get back in? Well, the Liberation Day strategy can take emotion out of it and help you get back in. And you've got one more day to go over to Linktree. The link is literally down below. And use this link, okay? And go and get Trendspider. Go and get Trendspider. You've got 3 options: enhanced, premium, or standard. Find whichever one fits within your budget and then get it. And I will send you the Liberation Day strategy, okay? It just determines when to get back in. And that's my goal, is just to find out, when do I start loading in? Because you'll remember, I bought a couple of weeks ago on Wednesday during that big day. And I was, just shut up and buy. Well, now most of those stocks are down. Am I worried? No. No. It just depends on your timeline and your time frame. This particular one, this Liberation Day strategy, 14 positions over 9 years. So you're not trading every day. You win 64% of the time. 14 positions, so you win 8, you lose 6. Your average win, 22%. Your average loss, 5%. It's about limiting your losses. When we go into Paul Tudor Jones, that's one of the things that he learned. Now, what else did we learn over the weekend? We learned that if you get a visit from the vice president, maybe you die the next day. Maybe. I mean, it's a fact. It just happens. I'm not saying he killed him, but perhaps the Pope just didn't say thank you. And it's a rumor. I heard this rumor. It's out there that Trump has said, hey, upon your return to Washington, can you go visit Mitch McConnell? The office, just shake his hand. I mean, I'm not saying it's, is there ill intentions? I don't know. But I did listen to a great podcast, like I said, over the weekend. It's Rich Habits with Austin Hankowitz and Robert Kruk. The man that turned 20K into 60 million. Many of you who are regular listeners will remember that Chris Camillo, that's who it is. And Chris Camillo is great in this episode. It is fantastic. I never knew that I was an arbitrage investor. I actually go deeper into charts and fundamentals than Chris does. I don't do options, so I don't have the opportunity to turn 20K into 60 million. It's not within my risk strategy. But again, this episode, it's I think it's about 36 minutes. Yeah, it's maybe an hour. It is fantastic. Okay? And I want to bring something up. He brought up that things are moving fast. Okay? He got me bullish on a stock. He got me super bullish on a stock, and I'll go over which one. It's Robinhood, and you may not, fully appreciate that I hate Robinhood. I don't like what they did with GameStop, but he brought up a great. I talk about great management. Okay, he brought up sports betting, and I'm going to close this down. And Webull and Robinhood. They're joining Robinhood with Kalshi. He brought up this. They moved from sports betting. So essentially, sports betting is a very regulated industry. And when Robinhood said to regulators, hey, we want to offer sports betting, they said, well, it's a regulatory thing. You can't do it, blah, blah, blah. What did they do? Well, we're not offering sports betting. We're offering prediction markets. Okay, event contracts. And that's what Kalshi does. So I loved what he said. His theory of Robinhood moving faster, and that the grandfather's bank or brokerage with the transition of wealth from boomers to kids who grew up with apps just made me think, where's the money going? And I joke often about betting your 401k money on who will win the Giants preseason game, football match, or in the XFL or whatever game I was watching this weekend. But that may be what people want. And JP Morgan is too slow to do it. Robinhood could do it. Now, 4-hour algorithm, again, if you had Trendspider, got you in at 40, you're at 41 right now. 4-hour algorithm makes you 392% over the last 24 months. 22 positions. It's a toss-up. It's a coin flip. 50% win, 50% lose. So 11 win, 11 lose. But your average win is 22%. Your average loss is 5%. That's how you make more over 24 months. So take emotion out of it and use the 4-hour algorithm in Trendspider. Again, this is key to understanding. Is this a long-term strategy? Is it a short-term strategy? I actually think I want Hood as a long-term strategy. Now, is it overvalued? Of course. Have you missed the run? I don't think so. The valuation right here, the PE, 28 times forward earnings. And if it's a bank, if it's a financial, the average, the sector median is 9. So it's trading expensively. But Chris brings up, they are just doing things quicker. They are moving. They're not scared. And I like that. I like that. Robinhood is right there. Charles Schwab is just above it. But is Hood within your risk tolerance? Maybe. Maybe not. But I did, again, if you want to know why I think that, go and listen to that episode. I thought it was fantastic. Webull, same thing. They just went through with a SPAC. I won't invest in a SPAC until we get more financials and more data. So that's it. So when I brought up my tax loss harvesting plan about a month ago, I specifically said, hey, the sell in May and go away. That saying may just be, hey, sell in April. I thought Trump would be pushing tariffs for a while, and Trendspider just built a strategy around sell in May and go away. They backtested it. Okay, long SPY, September 1st, exit June 1st. 1993 to 2017, you make 518% with that strategy versus 462% with buy and hold. 2017, you may say, well, it's not fair to go all the way back to 1993. 2017 until now, you make 44% versus plus 161% buy and hold. Okay? Recently, it just hasn't held up. And I think you're going to see that the administration, I think, is going to manipulate the market a little bit for rallies like you saw a couple of weeks ago. Okay? But if you are a little bit more prone to sell in May and go away, the strategy over the last, 1993 to 2017 worked. Are we back in that kind of market? I mean, again, they've shown that by putting these tariffs, it's another week without a tariff deal, another weekend without a tariff deal, and you've got some issues, okay? We had the first inside candle of 2025 on both SPY and QQQ. The SPY closed the week at 526, printing an inside candle on the weekly chart for the first time in the year. The RSI with seasonality indicators showed an oversold reading during a historically strong week, allowing traders to take a breath. The SPY is stabilizing on its 100-day EMA, blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of stuff out there, but an inside candle typically means a reversal. We're not seeing that in the pre-market. We're not seeing a reversal at all. The Qs are down 1.29. VOO is down 1%. So we're not seeing this at all. So just understand, it's the first inside candle. It's not absolute, but typically it does signal a reversal. Now, while we've been going down, you want to know what stock is up 14% year to date? Berkshire. Okay, year to date, 14.32%. Strong buy in the quant. Okay, it's not overvalued. The valuation is right in line. It's a C. 24 times forward earnings. It's number one in the financial sector. We just talked about Robinhood. This is number one multi-sector holdings in the financial sector. Again, Buffett seems to be doing right. I had said, get this one under 500 when you can, but year to date, you're up 14%. Is it too late to buy this one? I don't think so. I would rather use a buy and hold strategy. But you can see the entry here at 520 on the algorithm. The algorithm is 26 positions. Okay, you win 42% of the time. I would argue just buy Berkshire. And if it dips under 500 again, buy it. Okay? Because there's an issue right now in the market. Harvard and other large institutions understand they have an endowment of an enormous amount, I think it's hundreds of billions of dollars. And with the Trump administration over the weekend going after Harvard, what are they doing? Well, if I told you that you had to pay, you had tax exempt status, okay, but then I'm going to take it away. And you've got all these long-term gains in investments, okay? Harvard is highly leveraged to PE, close to 40% of its endowment. This could be a selling trigger event. Because if they do take away their non-exempt status, they have to pay taxes on all of those gains. And that's in a 20%. So again, this could, what Yale was already selling, they said, and other large institutions that are a little bit afraid, they're selling. That could trigger the market. What else could trigger the market? Jerome Powell getting fired. And that's been a news story over the weekend. Stock index futures drop as concerns over Fed's autonomy rises. Just be aware. It's something to keep an eye on. I wouldn't put it past the administration to do it. They've already shown that with the tariffs, they don't care. They will signal this. So keep an eye on it. I bring this up because we have some things that are just not going right in the market. The yield on the 10-year is back above 4.4 this morning. Okay, it's up 8 basis points, which is a huge move. And the dollar weakens. Mohamed Alarian says this is defying, again, historic correlations. Something may be broken. So now you've got to decide, The weekly RSI on QQQ has reached oversold territory just 4 other times in the last 10 years. Okay? Is this a breakdown, or is this once in a decade time to buy? You need to decide. Okay? Because if it's a once in a decade time to buy, load in. If it's not and you're afraid of downside, don't do it. My strategy, I bought a bunch last week. I still have cash on the sidelines. I just sent 6 figures to the damn the IRS. So I'm out a little bit of money, but it's basically I'm paying taxes. So, and yes, I'm effing bitter. I'm a little bitter about that. Honestly, God, yeah, I'm a little bitter. But it is what it is. You know, you pay taxes because you make money. Now, let's take a look at which one would you rather buy. So I often talk about, hey, let's have a strategy. Both these stocks are in the core portfolio. Both of these stocks should be long-term buy and holds. Which one do you feel more comfortable holding for 1 year? Because remember, 1 year is long-term capital gains. And this chart shows it perfectly. NVIDIA, 23 times forward earnings. Costco, 53 times forward earnings. Okay? Lifetime earnings per share growth estimated 37%, 9%. Which one would you rather hold for the long term? Because if NVIDIA can't sell into China, if all of the stories are true, this one at $98 is probably just valued too high. Now, Costco makes its money off of memberships. This one's seen a pullback. The 4-hour algorithm makes you 81%, 98% if you buy and hold. You win 45% of the time over the last 2 years. Your average win 8%. It's not a bad one. You've broken down off that trend line. That trend line's a weekly trend line, I think. Yeah, there you go. You just broke down below it. So will you get back to that trend line? Which one would you rather hold? Again, NVIDIA, it's not very expensive. You know, it's a hold in the value in the quant. PE right there, 22 times forward earnings. Costco, which one do you want to own? 55 times forward earnings to hold in the quant. You know, you can easily just read this analyze with AI right here and understand where their opportunities are, what their growths are, what the positive raised by analysts, the concerns raised by analysts, all of this. So all of this you can read with Seeking Alpha Premium. Okay, Seeking Alpha Premium, you get $30 off and 7-day free trial. Go and do it. You'll see me throw up some charts here. But which one would you rather buy? I will put it to you this way. Go and look at the values of these things, because I have them in the core portfolio. I don't own a Costco. I sold Costco at $8.50. So I'm losing out on that one. I bought NVIDIA at $140. So I'm losing on that one. I've lost both ways on both of these stocks. Now, I did make a lot of money off of Costco because I bought it around $500, I think, and sold it at $850 within a year. But again, those two stocks, it is what's going on in this market. We're going to continue that theme. But first, I want you to go and watch this short from Humphrey Yang. He's fantastic. He took his Costco gold bar and he went to a coin shop and sold it. You can see the process. Is gold something that you want to invest in? Gold is hitting an all-time high. Gold is again hitting an all-time high. It is up at the GLD is up at 314. It's up 2% in the pre-market. And now Bitcoin is joining it. It's up 2.74. Gold and Bitcoin are rising at the same time. The narrative in both gold and Bitcoin is aligned for the first time in years. Gold and Bitcoin are telling us that a weaker US dollar or more uncertainty are on the way. Again, more uncertainty is on the way. That's what it's telling us. So I don't think gold is a bad haven. I gave the paid newsletter subscribers Newmont, NEM, back in February. I gave you IAG, I am gold. I gave you Barrick Gold, which is GOLD. Or you can just buy a GLD. But this one at 55, this at Newmont, It's at 56.92 in the pre-market, up 3%. Has it hit its all-time high? Hell no, it hasn't. Look at it back here in 2022. It's 78 freaking dollars. So again, you have to decide what's in your portfolio. I own this, but I own the Mag 7. And I just looked, I'm down like 7 to 16% year to date. So understand, I have made my choices. I can't get out of them very quickly. You know, I'm not going to sell, tens of thousands of shares of Apple and go and buy tens of thousands of shares of gold. But I'm managing my portfolio as best I can, and I do have exposure to that. Now I want to look at value versus growth. This is VTV, which is Vanguard's value index, versus Vanguard's growth index, VUG. Okay? And this is a year-to-date comparison. VTV is down 3%. This is total performance. VUG is down 14%. So that would indicate that value is outperforming. Okay? That's all that indicates, is that value is outperforming. If you go and look at the holdings, well, what's the number one holding? It's Berkshire. What's the number two? It's JP Morgan. Number three, Exxon. And then you get down to United Health, which just took that huge hit from their earnings last week. Enormous hit. And if you go to VUG and look at the holdings, well, you've got number one at Apple, then Microsoft, then Nvidia, then Amazon. You got the Mag 7. So again, is value outperforming? So far it is. Not positive, but it is outperforming because it's losing less. And so when you look, I read this over the weekend. It's from a few days ago. Growth without the premium, 6 value stocks for April. One that I want to bring up that he brought up is Pilgrim's Pride Corporation, PPC. Okay, and you can read that article when you have Seeking Alpha Premium. That's why I brought it up. But PPC, the quant has it as strong buy. Okay, why? Well, everything, go and read Analyze with AI. But what I want to bring up is that PPC just paid a huge $6.30 dividend. It's a $54 stock. That was a 12% dividend. Okay, and I want to show you the chart because when you have something with this strength, okay, what happens on the payment date? You see a gap there. Okay, we're going to bring this down, and you see that stock drop from $54 down to $48. Okay, that's the $12 being taken out. Now, it opened up higher. You know, if we looked at the pre-market, you would see if it closed at 54 here, let's see, the close is at 55, $12 below. Say it's a $6 dividend. That brings it down to $49. It opened at $48.23. A little bit low, a little bit weak, but everybody got their dividend. Now the algorithm got you out down here, but I like this action. I like the action. Got you right back in at 52.81. Okay, the algorithm wins 52% of the time, 21 positions. Makes you 117 versus 130. Remember, that doesn't include that 12% dividend when you had a gap fill. The gap fill goes to 54.49. Is this one crazy? Well, look at the weekly. It's stronger than it's ever been, PPC. Okay, Pilgrim's Pride, and it's still a strong buy in the quant. The valuation's not stretched. It's got a forward PE of 10, of 10. So find stocks that make sense. Here, Broadcom and Marvel are the top picks heading into earnings season. Well, maybe that's within your thing. They're all big down big. Chips are just not doing well. And you've got huge earnings week this week. Okay? I listed out, I went through last night and I just listed out some names that I'm looking at by day. And I'm not going to go over all of these names. And the reason I'm not going to go over them is because you're in an uncertain market. I don't think in an uncertain market for me, and remember, the podcast is mostly about me and my strategies, I'm not out there trading on everything. I sold half my position in Netflix, okay, at nine. I think it was 980 is the price that I paid. It's trading at 991. It went all the way up to almost $1,100 in pre-market. But I just felt, hey, I'm going to take 100% gain. I think it was around 100%. Maybe it was like around 120, somewhere in that neighborhood. It was a big, big gain. I'm going to take the gain. And I'm going to buy back in if I want to. Netflix is typically just, insulated. But here they go over all of these earnings. They bring up AGNC on Monday. They bring up Tesla on Tuesday. Tesla is huge. If you think that Tesla did really well, would they really be branding themselves? That's what they're calling this, not an earnings thing. They're talking about rebranding. And I think they're going to move specifically away from the car business, and they're going to say we're a robotics and AI business. I think that's exactly what they're going to try and do. Then Wednesday, you have AT&T. Thursday, Google. Okay, and Friday, you have Schlumberger. Monday, today, after the bell, I brought up Waste Management. You can go over to Earnings Hub. Say you don't have Seeking Alpha and you can't read that article. Just go over to Earnings Hub, and you'll see the entire list of what's up there. And you can read my list. Waste Management, today after the bell. SOFI, Spotfiy, Coke, Four Payments, Royal Caribbean, Eat, Brinker. I just bought a bunch of Brinker. They're reporting on Tuesday. Visa, Starbucks, Snap. Wednesday, GE Healthcare, which has just underperformed all the healthcare stuff. Microsoft, Meta, Hood, Qualcomm, Sprouts Farmers Market. Thursday, Google, Lilly, MasterCard, Roblox, Peloton, Southern Company. I think it's, Georgia's. I know it's my power company, Southern. Dominion Energy, Apple, Amazon, MicroStrategy, Airbnb, Reddit, Melly, which is a favorite. Okay, Melly reports. This is the Amazon of Latin America. I like this one. Did you get it under 2,000? Because right now it's at about 2,100. Algorithm got you in there at 1960. Their earnings are coming up. And then Friday, you got big freaking earnings on Friday. PayPal, McDonald's, Exxon, Chevron, Fubo, Corning, GLW, SMCI, Lemonade, Powell. So you've got a lot on Friday, this entire week. This is one of the biggest weeks of earnings season. Look at all of those symbols. Pick your name. Go and research it. I'm just warning you that I don't think that there's going to be a hell of a lot of guidance out there that, oh my God, we're killing it. Netflix said we're comfortable with our guidance. That's why they're getting rewarded. Now, from an education standpoint, you don't want to be a trader? That's fine. You don't need to be a trader. Even an investor should understand trend lines. And Tori bases her entire trading on trend lines. Go and watch these videos. She just does trend lines. That's it. She doesn't look for anything other than trends. She doesn't care about the actual fundamentals of a stock. Trend lines. It's a great strategy. Understand how she does it. And if you don't understand trend lines, again, Trendspider has this great thing called heat map. Okay? Go and read up on heat maps. There's a whole blog about it. But if you can't see, okay, ignore those white lines. And just say you ignore those white lines. Look at where it clearly turns to dark black. Okay? And you have a bottom or a top. Dark black, top. Dark black, bottom. Dark black, bottom. Dark black, top. Dark black, bottom. Okay? The path of least resistance. This is Costco. This is Costco, and it's a daily chart. So, again, Trendspider is on sale. You've got just a limited amount of time to sign up for it, another couple of days. But it is such a good tool. And now, again, on the education side, right here, Paul Tudor Jones. He's famous. He's a famous billionaire. And he burned accounts to $8 billion trading legend. Okay, he's made over $8 billion. There's some points, and it goes over his entire history here, how you can go over it and hear from him. But the legendary 1987 trade, he's super well known for that 1987 point. He predicted Black Monday, said things. This is the video. Said things were overvalued. Timed it perfectly. He started a fund with $30,000 in 1980. $30,000. Okay? The key ones that I took away from this is number 6, his biggest loss. Biggest loss, 70% of his fund in one catastrophic trade. Here's how unbelievable a failure turned him into a trading legend. In 1979, this was before he started a fund. He was a young, ambitious trader making bold bets in the cotton market. One fateful trade almost destroyed his career. Placed an enormous, highly leveraged long position, confident the market was on the verge of a rally. Instead, prices collapsed. The quote, "I knew immediately the market was going down and it was my blood that was going to carry it there," he recalled. As the market plummeted, he scrambled to exit his position, but it was too late. That's right before he started his fund. Now, number 7, what does this teach us? Discipline is crucial. If you're not comfortable betting on earnings or investing in a stock that you're going to buy today, do not think that earnings are going to, it's a make or break. It's hit or miss. Buy good stocks with good profits, with good products, and good management. Trading isn't about avoiding loss. It's about how you respond to them. Study the past to predict the future. We just went over Muhammad Alarian, who said things aren't going the way they traditionally have. So that's my warning to you about playing with earnings and holding through earnings. Again, I sold half my position in Netflix before earnings. I saw it go up, but I took profits. And that's the key. Again, you just have to be comfortable. Now, remember on my link tree, by the way, I was over here on Visible this weekend, and the plans, there's a couple of new ones. There's this new Visible Plus, which is an unbelievable deal. Use my link on Linktree because I think you get $20 off as well. It is like a $20 off. But the new $35 a month and the new $45 a month is unbelievable. This is unlimited Verizon service. And the $25 a month, again, doesn't include the wideband stuff. So if you have an older phone, you really don't care about stuff, $25 a month is unbelievable. $35 a month with unlimited premium data on Verizon's 5G Ultra wideband network and our fastest 5G. Okay? What does the $45 get you? It gets you up to 4K ultra high quality video. Okay? You get more mobile hotspot. You get better international. Okay? You get 2 days on the global pass. And this one, the $35, doesn't include the Apple Watch, but if you have an Apple Watch, the $45 one includes it. So it's included in that plan. If you have an Apple Watch, why pay extra for it? Just go and get this for $45 a month. I saw Stetson Dotson, I think his name is, who I watch on YouTube, who does all these plans and stuff. He does a great job of breaking that down. But I was over there this weekend. I am currently, by the way, on the $35 a month plan. But I believe I get this $45. It's an older Visible Pro. I don't get the 4K quality. I think I get the 1080p. I don't know. I'm paying $35 a month. But this is my plan. So on the link tree, there's a bunch of stuff, including the newsletter, where I put some fun stuff this weekend. Again, the NVIDIA, which one's cheaper? A little, penny lookalike is what I did. And then Kramerica Industries. I met with the CEO and his assistant Darren this weekend, and we pushed a giant ball of oil out a window. For anybody that's a Seinfeld fan, it will make sense because there's a marine biologist who named Art Vandelay who just wrote a book about shrinkage. Again, I was just having fun, with some stuff, some fun images there and stuff. But again, it's not just a newsletter. It's a whole platform. And if you want to see all the posts, all the stuff here, just go to dailystockpick.substack.com. You can see it the weekends thing. I did do a fire podcast prior. So these are 3 older episodes of the podcast. I gave you the link to Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. And if you have any questions on FIRE, it's financial independence, retire early. The 3 episodes are how to find your FIRE number, expenses, and income. I couldn't think of something else to do. Again, it was years ago, a few years ago, after I had a couple of years under my belt. I now have 5+ years of retirement under my belt. And you may say, well, you're doing a podcast, you're not retired. I would do this shit for free. Honest to God, I did it for free for a very long time. So, and I wrote back in early 2023. That was when I did it. So if you have any questions, hit me up, find the newsletter. It's all right here on Linktree. Let me know what you think again about the new graphics down below, but it's linktr.ee/daily stock pick. If you have any questions, my email's up in the upper right-hand corner. Reply to an email on the newsletter that you get. Get everything. You know, again, the tools that I have provide me some good stuff. So if you have any questions, hit me up. Okay, see you. Bye. Morning, Wendy. Morning, Chris. Morning, Andres. Yeah, I've been buying IBIT when the 4-hour algorithm tells me to. It doesn't do that great over the past 15 months. It winds up losing you money, but I do believe that 50-day turning was a key at 47. And you're at 49 right now, 49, 47. I kind of agree with you, Chris, that I just, you know, in my mind, I just think it's got to catch up with gold. Something's got to go on. But, okay. I am going to go. Again, if you guys have any questions, hit me up. I know it's a new graphic. Let's see. Why is this? No. Oh. Where's live? There it is. They got good graphics, Shy and Katie. I like their graphics. This is yeah, JC. I like JC. I've been on Space with him. Let's see, the best stock market open ever. What? Micro, macro? Okay, the fact that he's got a bunch of notifications just would drive me nuts. Pope Francis died. I'm getting a lot of Japanese stuff. I think Japanese stuff comes from girlfriend. Oh, there's 18,000 people watching this concert. Wow. I don't know how 1,000 people watching this guy just read Twitter. I'll get dinged if I go on there though. Fed under fire. This is Trader TV Live. These guys are on all day long, so I like that long short. Huh. JC's on a rant. JC's on a rant. Okay, I'm out. Enjoy the exit music. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter. hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.